Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about XRP or Ripple. There's been some exciting things to really kind of talk about, and I do really want to get into pretty much everything that is happening throughout the market, as well as kind of talking to you guys about what's happening behind the scenes as well for Ripple. We also have to talk to you guys a little bit about the SEC lawsuit, as we are seeing some updates with that. So with that in mind, sit back, relax, and before we fully jump in this video, I just want to ask if you guys could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and I do greatly appreciate it. Also, stick around to the end. That's when we will be talking about the lawsuit a little bit. But overall, in terms of the market sentiment, it's still very, snoozious. It's, pretty much just trading sideways, so it's probably putting a lot of people to sleep. It's boring. In my personal opinion, I like when the market is like this, though. It allows for you to kind of just relax until the next major thing happens, which is the calm before the storm. Okay, so the storm is coming. It's going to be happening very soon. We're talking more so about Bitcoin. We talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum a little bit because we obviously have to talk about them as we are ranging in their market. Ethereum dominance has been rising a little bit. The price has been kind of sitting stable, has been making some leeway. Bitcoin, in terms of dominance, has been dropping a little bit, which is still very bullish. In terms of Bitcoin ranging on, though, here, it's actually very bullish for XRP because we do know that XRP more so started making its major moves in December, but it looks like this market is playing a little bit differently this time around, because we do know that around the 10th, the 11th, that's pretty much when XRP started to move, but a lot of altcoins actually moved by around the end of November into the beginning of December, and it looks like it's actually a different sentiment point for the entire market this year. It looks like we're actually going to lengthen and push this a little bit further into quarter 2 or quarter 1 of 2022. So we are watching that very closely unfold before our eyes, and if Bitcoin does kind of push us into that year, I'm totally fine with it. It does allow for a lot more upside potential on XRP as well as on Bitcoin. So with that in mind, before we fully jump onto this video, I just want to let you guys know, if you are interested in getting my, insider trading and stuff like that, my, Bitcoin exit plans and all that kind of stuff, my insights, all that stuff, you guys are more so pretty much able to on NCashOfficial.com. Of course, the best deal for your buck is the Ultimate Crusader Trading Bundle Pack, which does include everything on the site as well as all future content for free. So you guys are more so welcome to do so. It is 35% off for a limited time only. And by insider trading, I meant my insider insights. Sorry about that. But overall, nonetheless, let's move on. So we do see here this week, multiple banks exploring Bitcoin-backed loans. JP Morgan hosts its first crypto event. Fidelity launches a Bitcoin spot ETF in Canada. NYDIG to bring Bitcoin to thousands of banks. So this is pretty interesting, and a lot of these, announcements that we have been seeing pretty much relies, I should say, on crypto adoption. This is actually going to allow for us to see some major updates throughout the entire market, and we do see a lot of these going all the way back as well. We look back on Bitcoin here. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink calls Bitcoin an index of money laundering. This goes all the way back to 2017. Of course, you see here BlackRock Fund bought Bitcoin futures in January. Regulatory filings show March 31st. Bitcoin's real value could be zero, Morgan Stanley analyst says. Morgan Stanley becomes the first big U.S. bank to offer its wealthy clients access to Bitcoin funds. We do see here Bitcoin is a fraud that will blow up, says JP Morgan boss. JP Morgan says investors could make Bitcoin 1% of portfolios. Goldman Sachs lists 5 reasons why Bitcoin is not an asset class nor a suitable investment. Exclusive: Goldman Sachs restarts cryptocurrency desk amid Bitcoin boom. And I just want you guys to understand what is happening. When we're seeing stuff like this, it plays perfectly into the idea that, when a big outlet or a big bank or a financial institution is saying, don't buy this, don't get into this, yeah, you probably want to get into it because they are all working in these scenes. They are all invested in these scenes. They are buying up the dips that the retail is selling. This is the perfect example of that. We also see here Bank of America, which is an XRP partner, or I should say a Ripple partner, or a previous Ripple partner now that the SEC lawsuit is ongoing. But we do see here the metaverse is a massive opportunity for crypto and adoption of it. Now with this, we have been seeing a lot of the metaverse kind of exploding in this market. If we go to metaverse tokens, just so you guys see, on the 24-hour span, nothing too great in terms of percentages. We are seeing, this one up like 61%, but for the most part, not too many crazy percentage gains, but on the 7-day, yeah, we're seeing a little bit more percentage gains. And overall, in terms of the year-to-date percentages, we're seeing a lot of gains throughout this entire market as well, which is very bullish for the metaverse space. But of course, like I said, this is going to grow and grow and grow more and more as the metaverse grows in demand. We are seeing a lot of, those major companies like Facebook focusing on the metaverse. So not a big surprise that the metaverse is looking for a major breakout event. But we also see here just in Goldman Sachs says multiple banks are exploring Bitcoin-backed loans now too. It's just comical to say the least because, this is pretty much the news that we will see before we see a major breakout on Bitcoin. We are seeing a lot of bullish news within crypto and crypto adoption, all while, XRP is in a lawsuit in the US. It's just funny to me. Now we do see here ISO 222. The standard is not what's surprising. What's surprising is that there is a growing adopted global standard, and people still think that non-compliant technologies will be used. You want adoption? Well, it looks like you need to fit the message standards needed. And ISO 222 is coming very, very fast. And we do see here, seems stupid, but most of the space won't take this seriously until a talking head on cable media says to. And we do see here, ISO 222 is an international standard prepared by the International Standards Organization. It is a description of a common platform for the development of messages, but in common usage, it refers to the new message formats that have been developed using the platform, which is all for payment clearers and central banks. They are all migrating to this. They will be over the next 3 years. When the phase migration is complete, MT format messages will no longer be used for payment processing. And of course, they are intended to be used in 5 business areas: payments, securities, trade services, cards, foreign exchange. And what's funny about this is that XRP, XDC, XLM, IOTA, and ALGO are all listed as major assets within the ISO 222 space. When we're talking about trade finance, we could pretty much look at that as being XDC, payments, XRP. Securities, it could be, pretty much a few of them. Cards could be XLM because cards are more so XLM. It's peer-to-peer, so XLM makes sense for that. Payments makes sense for XRP. Trade services makes sense for XDC. Internet of Things could be technically securities, if you will. Foreign exchange could be. A lot of these assets do play a big role in pretty much all of these aspects. But I suspect that ISO 222 is going to be huge. And we do see here, I agree, but in the end, it's just a messaging standard. Cryptos can comply quite easy. They are startups, so the compliance to ISO angle is way overhyped in crypto, in my opinion. I work at a huge global bank, and adopting ISO 222 is a huge operation. Hard to change dinosaur operations. And then we do see here, the main point is it's notched towards adoption, especially in trade finance, securities, and payments. It's not that big of a deal, but it makes all the difference at your bank. Do you think you could accept crypto or for the sake of it, or do you think you'd have some criteria first? And of course, ISO 222 is going to allow banks to really kind of accept crypto more so easier than it is now. And we're also going to see crypto adoption grow extremely fast during that time. We also see here breaking Ripple integrated ECB's new RTGS system starting tested from today. Full launch in November 2022. Now, there is no mention of Ripple, but we do see here user testing begins for new T2 system. T2 can start testing the functionalities of the system as of December 1st. We do see here the new real-time gross settlement RTGS system T2 will replace the current Target 2 system in November 2022. Like I said, ISO 222 is growing extremely fast. Now we do see here the new RTGS system, messaging standard ISO 222, payments in several currencies, so decided by the representative or the respective bank. We do see here, go live first business day, November 21st, 2022. And then there's a ton of updates throughout this entire time period as well. Like we're talking about May 1st, July 31st, and so forth. And of course, they are focused more so on what's happening within Ripple and pretty much all of the money through the Intraledger protocol. I'm not saying that it isn't XRP, but I'm just not seeing XRP being labeled here. So I'm not going to clarify that it's Ripple or XRP or anything like that, or mention that it is. But I do know a lot of people will continue to say that it is, but it's totally fine. But I think that this is awesome. I think that this is pretty much telling us, listen, things are happening very fast. Now we do see here US-based remittance firm Unitel Partners Tranglo to expand in 13 APAC markets. Now with this, we also see this will also add more than 58,000 cash pickup points, more than 1,100 account deposit banks, and 9 e-wallet platforms to its existing payment network. And we do see here the collaboration also gives Unitel access to RippleNet, the global financial network of Ripple, which had agreed to acquire a 40% stake in Tranglo in March 2021. Very bullish. I think that this is incredible, and like we do see here, this partnership with Tranglo is a great step forward in our expansion plan for Asia Pacific this year. Collaboration has always been an important part of our strategy. By partnering with like-minded cross-border payment companies, we can integrate international payment networks and combine our technological strength and local market knowledge to make an even greater impact on the industry than what each of us can achieve individually. And of course, they are going to be focusing more so, in my opinion, on the Ripple partnership, because I think that in terms of the RippleNet partnership here, it's going to help them prosper ahead in terms of the cross-border payment sector, and of course allow for a lot more of those payments to be settled at a real-time basis. Now let's talk about the SEC lawsuit. So we do see here, everyone should be aware that it is unlikely that the public will hear or see anything on December 6th. The 6th is a deadline for the SEC to provide discovery responses to Ripple. Those responses won't be publicly filed. If the SEC doesn't fully comply, then a motion will be filed. And of course, this is talking more so about the December 6th timeline, or the deadline for the SEC to comply with most aspects of the court's October 21st, 2021 order regarding 2 discovery disputes. Specifically, the order required the following. And of course, there's a ton of information here that I'm not going to read over, but with this in mind, we most likely won't be seeing too much from this. We won't be seeing a major update from this. But the comical thing here is that in 4 days, this is going to be happening, and we've seen the fireside talk just yesterday, and the funny thing about this is that they did not even mention anything about the XRP case. We do see here, this is from Fox Business. If you listen closely, they are talking about it here as well.
One of the interesting things from this, because a lot of people thought both of these guys would talk about Ripple. I mean, Ripple's the biggest case, regulatory case, in crypto that Clayton brought and that Gensler has now. Mm-hmm. They did not mention it once.
XRP?
Not once.
Why wouldn't Jay Clayton bring that up?
I have no idea. You know, first off, one of the problems I think with this conference is they didn't take audience questions, because clearly the audience would have mentioned this. Ripple is a regulatory marker right now. It is a big thing. If it goes the SEC's way, it's you know, they can really ramp up regulation by enforcement and much more. If it goes Ripple's way, XRP is going to bounce off $1 a share. Obviously, it's trading at $1. I'm sorry.
Is it true that there was a chat alongside this discussion between the two that was all about XRP?
Yeah, it was really.
So
insane.
people were saying, when are you going to address that?
Yeah, and they were mocking both of them essentially, because remember, they both kind of agreed on a lot of this stuff. One of the interesting things,
and the best part about it is that, first off, they're mentioning XRP. XRP is the main focus point here, because this is the biggest crypto enforcement case ever. First off, this is going to go down in history as probably the biggest enforcement case ever. I think that this is going to pretty much prosper us into the idea of, instead of the Howey test, it is going to invent the Ripple test. We've talked about this, we discussed this, but this is also proving to us that retail demand is going to be at a very high point once this case is done with, because it is already getting public news media attention off of Fox Business and even CNBC and stuff like that. So expect the retail FOMO to be absolutely crazy once this case is thrown out, where Ripple does get a win or possibly a settlement happens. We don't know. First off, we don't know if Ripple's going to win, but in my mind, there's like a 90% chance that we win. So in that, of course, we are talking about this in an idea on why didn't they mention XRP? Well, it's pretty clear to us. We know that there's been a lot of corruption and stuff like that going on behind closed doors, so it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't want to take any questions from the audience on this or talk about it because of something like that coming up. But overall, who knows? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. But with that in mind, I'm going to wrap up the video here. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Guys, did definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful Nick. Peace out, guys.